She didn't say it, but she wanted you to do it. Imagine this. You're out with a woman, and she casually mentions how exhausted she's been lately. She doesn't ask for anything directly, just a passing comment. Later that night, instead of saying much, you gently massage her shoulders while she's scrolling on her phone. She closes her eyes, exhales deeply, and for a brief moment you can tell. This is exactly what she wanted. But she never said it out loud. This is the kind of subtle, unspoken desire that 99% of women have, but won't openly express. Women communicate differently from men, not through direct requests, but through hints, body language, and subtle cues. And the men who understand this don't just get more attention, they build deeper, more meaningful connections. In this video, we'll break down the hidden signals women give and what they actually want from you. From the way they react to small gestures, to how physical touch, emotional security, and flirting play a role in attraction. Mastering this skill will set you apart from the rest. Many men focus on grand romantic gestures, thinking they need to impress a woman with expensive gifts or dramatic surprises. But the truth? It's the small, thoughtful actions that matter most. A warm hug when she's had a bad day, a reassuring hand on her back when walking through a crowded place, or simply remembering the little details she shares with you. These are the things that make a lasting impression. Stay tuned as we uncover the psychology behind these silent signals and how adopting a Stoic mindset will help you respond with confidence rather than confusion. Because the key to attraction isn't guessing, it's observing, understanding, and acting with intention. The strength of trust and adaptability. Imagine this. When you first met her, she loved spontaneous road trips, late-night adventures, and trying every new restaurant in town. A few years later, she values quiet evenings, deep conversations, and a sense of stability. If you cling to who she was rather than embracing who she's becoming, frustration replaces connection. Women, like all people, evolve. Their desires shift with life's experiences, emotional growth, and changing priorities. A relationship that thrives isn't one that resists change, but one that adapts to it. This is where the Stoic mindset becomes invaluable. By accepting impermanence, you cultivate the ability to grow with her rather than against her. Instead of resenting change, you learn to embrace it as part of the natural flow of life. But adaptability alone isn't enough. Trust is what holds everything together. And trust isn't built on grand romantic gestures or empty words. It's the result of consistent, reliable actions over time. A man who says, "You can count on me," proves it not through a single moment of heroism, but through daily integrity. He listens when she speaks, follows through on what he says, and remains steady, even when emotions run high. Consider this. A woman feels most secure in a relationship when she knows she doesn't have to doubt your intentions. If you're calm in moments of conflict, patient when she's overwhelmed, and unwavering in your principles, she will naturally lean into that stability. It's not about perfection. It's about reliability. A Stoic man doesn't demand that his partner stay the same. He grows alongside her. He doesn't react impulsively to every shift in her emotions, but instead responds with presence and understanding. And most importantly, he recognizes that love isn't about controlling another person. It's about walking beside them, no matter how the path twists and turns. The silent power of a hug. Picture this. She's had a long, exhausting day. Maybe things didn't go as planned at work, or she's feeling overwhelmed by life's uncertainties. Words don't always help in these moments. Sometimes they even make things worse. But when you simply wrap your arms around her without expectation, without the need to fix anything, something shifts. She exhales. Her body softens. In that silent embrace, she finds security, understanding, and the reassurance that she's not alone. This isn't just sentimentality. It's science. A simple hug releases oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, which fosters feelings of trust, reduces stress, and strengthens emotional connection. In relationships, where words can sometimes fall short or be misinterpreted, physical affection like a well-timed hug can communicate more than any speech ever could. It says, "I see you. I'm here." But a hug isn't just about physical closeness, it's about emotional openness. Many men struggle with expressing emotions, often believing that strength means remaining distant. Stoicism, however, doesn't teach detachment. It teaches mastery over emotions. And part of that mastery is knowing when to open up. A man who understands the importance of affection, who offers it freely without hesitation, builds an atmosphere where trust flourishes. Think of a child who falls and scrapes their knee, and before anything else, they run to the person they trust most, the one whose embrace makes everything feel okay again. That instinct doesn't fade with age, it simply becomes more subtle. When a woman leans into a man's embrace, she isn't looking for solutions, she's seeking connection. And a man who recognizes this, who offers that security without resistance, strengthens the very foundation of his relationship. True strength isn't in withholding affection. It's in knowing when to give it without hesitation. The silent language of attraction. You're sitting across from her at a cafe, and she mentions, almost in passing, how she loves cappuccinos, but never orders them because they make her too jittery. A few days later, you surprise her with a decaf cappuccino, and she gives you that look, part surprise, part admiration. She never asked for it, but she noticed. More importantly, she felt understood. Women communicate their desires differently than men. While men often express what they want in a direct, straightforward manner, women tend to rely on subtle hints, indirect expressions, and body language. It's not a game. It's a different way of connecting, shaped by social norms and emotional intelligence. The key to standing out isn't about guessing what she wants, but about actively paying attention to what she's already showing you. One of the most powerful, yet overlooked ways to deepen a connection is through small, thoughtful gestures, remembering tiny details, her favorite book, how she takes her coffee, or the song she hums when she's happy. Signals that you're truly present in the moment. These actions carry far more weight than flashy gifts or over-the-top declarations of affection. They show that you listen, that you care, and that you're attentive without needing to be asked. Beyond words, a woman's body language reveals more than she says outright. A slight shift in tone, prolonged eye contact, or a moment of hesitation before responding can all hint at deeper emotions. If she leans in when you speak, plays with her hair absent-mindedly, or mirrors your movements, she's subconsciously signaling interest. Likewise, a sudden change in posture or a lack of engagement might indicate discomfort or disinterest. The Stoic approach to relationships isn't about overanalyzing every signal. It's about cultivating awareness. When you learn to observe and respond rather than react impulsively, you create an environment where connection grows effortlessly. And in the end, it's not about mind reading. It's about being present enough to truly see her. The art of flirting and the power of subtle gestures. Imagine this. You're walking side by side with her, and without thinking, you place a gentle hand on the small of her back as you guide her through a crowded street. It's not forceful, not possessive, just enough to show presence, protection, and confidence. She doesn't say anything, but in that moment, she feels it. The warmth of your touch, the quiet reassurance, the unspoken connection. Flirting isn't about grand, over-the-top moves. It's about subtlety, about reading the moment and responding with effortless charm. A well-placed compliment, a teasing smirk, or the way you hold eye contact for just a second longer than usual. These are the things that make interactions magnetic. Respectful flirting isn't about impressing her with words. It's about making her feel something in your presence. And then there's the power of touch. Studies have shown that light, intentional touch, like brushing a stray hair from her face or briefly resting a hand on her shoulder, can increase trust and attraction. Why? Because physical connection, when done naturally and without expectation, bypasses words. It taps into something primal, something deeper than logic. But the key is intention. Stoicism teaches that every action should be deliberate, never reactive. The same applies here. A careless or misplaced touch can feel intrusive, while a well-timed one can communicate volumes. The difference lies in awareness, reading her comfort, understanding the energy between you, and acting with quiet confidence rather than seeking validation. Many men think attraction is built through words alone, but often it's the unspoken moments that linger longest. The playful teasing, the casual fleeting touches, the way you carry yourself, not needing to prove anything, but simply existing with quiet strength. Flirting, at its best, isn't about performance. It's about presence, standing up for her and the power of emotional sharing. Picture this. You're out with her and someone makes a rude remark at her expense. It's subtle, maybe a passive-aggressive comment or a dismissive tone. You glance at her, noticing the slight tension in her expression. At that moment, you have two choices: ignore it and hope she forgets, or address it with calm, unwavering confidence. A simple yet firm response like, "That wasn't necessary," can shift the entire dynamic. You're not aggressive, not seeking a fight, but you make it clear that disrespect won't be tolerated. Women appreciate a man who stands up for them, not because they can't do it themselves, but because it signals something deeper: protection, loyalty, and the willingness to support her without hesitation. But here's the key. It must be done with composure. Emotional outbursts or unnecessary conflict only make things worse. Strength isn't about dominance. It's about presence. Beyond standing up for her, true connection is built through emotional sharing. Many men believe they must always be the strong, silent type, never revealing their inner thoughts. But emotional intelligence isn't weakness, it's an asset. When you share your thoughts, dreams, and even vulnerabilities, you invite her to do the same. This is what creates a bond beyond surface attraction. For example, imagine a late-night conversation where you talk about your aspirations, your struggles, and the lessons you've learned. You're not looking for pity, nor are you oversharing. You're simply being real. In that moment, she sees you not just as someone strong, but as someone human. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Standing up for her and sharing your emotions both come from this principle, being firm in your values while allowing space for connection. Strength and vulnerability aren't opposites. They are two sides of the same coin. Recognizing her signs of attraction. You're having a conversation, and she casually brings up a romantic movie she watched recently. She asks about your thoughts on relationships, love, or even your ideal partner. At first glance, it might seem like idle chatter, but in reality, these subtle cues are often signs of attraction, clues that she's trying to gauge your mindset, your values, and whether there's potential for something deeper. Women rarely express attraction in direct words. Instead, they communicate through nuanced actions, small yet intentional. If she starts dressing more boldly around you, paying extra attention to her appearance, or even seeking your opinion on her outfit, these are signals that she values how you see her. It's her way of drawing you in, of subtly inviting your attention. A more profound indicator lies in the way she interacts with you compared to others. Does she laugh more when you're around? Does she find ways to be near you, even in a group setting? Maybe she lightly touches your arm during a conversation or mirrors your gestures unconsciously. These are all signs of a deeper connection forming, whether she verbalizes it or not. From a Stoic perspective, recognizing these signs isn't about feeding the ego or seeking validation. It's about understanding human nature. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, look within. Within is the fountain of good. Attraction is not just about surface-level gestures. It's about emotional resonance. When a woman seeks your perspective on things that matter to her, she's inviting you into her world. The question is, are you paying attention? The key is not to overanalyze, but to observe with a calm and collected mindset. If she shows consistent signs of interest, acknowledge them, but don't become consumed by them. Attraction should be met with composure, not desperation. In the end, true connection isn't built on decoding every signal. It's built on authenticity, respect, and being present in the moment. Hair caressing as an intimate gesture. Imagine this. She's had a long day. You can tell by the way she exhales deeply, the slight tension in her shoulders, the way she absently rubs her temples. Without saying a word, you reach out and gently run your fingers through her hair. It's a small gesture, almost imperceptible to an outsider, but in that moment, it speaks volumes. It tells her, I see you, I'm here, you're safe. Hair caressing is one of those subtle yet profoundly intimate gestures that require no words, only presence. It's not grand or dramatic, yet it holds immense emotional weight. It's a way of offering comfort, of creating a quiet space where she can let go of the weight of the day. Unlike a hug, which is mutual, or a kiss, which carries an expectation, caressing her hair is an act of pure giving, without demand, without urgency. Women, whether they openly admit it or not, crave these moments of unspoken connection. A touch on the back says, I support you. A hand squeeze says, I'm with you. But a gentle stroke through her hair, that says, you are cherished. It taps into something deep within, the need to be nurtured, to feel secure in a world that often demands strength and composure. The Stoics teach us that true power lies in restraint, in the ability to act with intention rather than impulse. Caressing her hair isn't about seeking a reaction, it's about offering a moment of peace. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Often, our minds are filled with worries, anxieties, and overthinking. A simple touch can pull someone out of that mental storm and anchor them in the present. So the next time words feel unnecessary, remember that sometimes the softest gestures leave the deepest impact. Observing and responding to her cues attraction is never just about words. It's a language of its own, spoken through subtle gestures, fleeting glances, and unspoken cues. If you've made it this far, you now understand that recognizing these signals isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about awareness. It's about being present, observant, and emotionally intelligent enough to respond in a way that strengthens connection rather than forcing it. A woman may never directly tell you what she wants, but she will always show you. The way she engages in conversation, the topics she brings up, the way she leans in slightly when she talks to you. These are the signs that matter. True confidence isn't about making grand gestures. It's about reading the moment and responding with authenticity. As the Stoics teach, control what you can and let go of what you cannot. You cannot control how someone feels about you, but you can control how you show up. You can choose to be a man who listens, who understands, and who respects the natural flow of connection. So the next time you're in a conversation, slow down, observe, pay attention to the details that most men overlook. When you do, you'll start to see the world and the people in it with greater clarity. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss insights like these. And if you want more wisdom on relationships, attraction, and the Stoic mindset, check out our other videos right here on WisdomVault365. Until next time, stay present, stay grounded, and stay wise.